So when is it the right time? When is it justifiable for you to purchase a vehicle when you are in the military? So I'm going to be sharing with you my 4 criteria that I look for me to seriously consider purchasing a vehicle. And I hope you use these 4 criteria as like a baseline measurement. So when you are in the military and you're thinking about, should I buy a vehicle, should I not buy a vehicle, you think about these 4 criteria, all right? So criteria number 1 is, does it help me bring value in my social life? So when you make friends within the military, and also when you have friends in the civilian world, you know, on a Friday night, Saturday or Sunday, you can go to places, right? You have that work-life balance. You're not always working 24 hours, 7 days a week. You know, for me, I'm a very introverted person, but I believe it is extremely important that we have a balance. So I make it an effort at least once a week to be more spontaneous, to do things that's a little bit more extroverted, going to places, movie theaters, you know, restaurants and amusement parks and stuff like that. So criteria number one is, does it bring me value, happiness in my social life? Okay. Criteria number 2 is, does it help me build and maintain my relationship with my family / love life? So when you have a girlfriend or a spouse or wife, right, it's very, very important that the ones who are always making the sacrifice with you, you know, when you're away from your wife or away from your family for a very long time, you can still maintain that face value by having the convenience to be able to drive, you know, X amount of hours. For me, my family is 6 hours away. So if I really wanted to, I could drive 6 hours up to Pennsylvania and then come back down 6 hours to Virginia, right? So also, you know, maintaining the value with your spouse, you know, face-to-face conversation is always better than Skyping all the time, right? So that's criteria number 2. Does it help me maintain and build my relationship with my family and my love life? So if you don't have if you're not in a relationship, you want to be in a relationship, you know, purchasing a vehicle just to go on dates isn't really justifiable, okay? You know, you can still use Lyft, you can still use Uber. I've used it. It's not going to cramp your style, okay? Because when you're in the military, everyone understands, like, oh, you don't have a vehicle. It's not like in the civilian world, if you don't have a vehicle, it's like, why don't you have a vehicle? But when you're in the military, well, it makes sense because you don't necessarily need a vehicle, all right? So that's criteria number 2. Criteria number 3 is, does it help me make progress towards my goal? For example, let's say you're taking classes online. You know, when you're in the military, you can use tuition assistance, right? But, you know, you're taking online classes and you're not up to performance. Your grades aren't where you want it to be. And you find out, well, I'm not a very online person. I can't really just open the textbook by myself and read and educate myself. I like to be more in a classroom setting. So you purchase a vehicle for the goal of going to school, going to night classes, sitting down in a classroom with the teacher, with other students, interacting, and that's the best way that you learn for you to get better grades. That is a justifiable reason for you to make progress towards a certain goal, and ultimately towards an ultimate goal, right? So that's criteria number 3, making progress towards a certain goal with the use of a vehicle. Now you could justify, well, you could take the bus, you could take the taxi, but it's not that convenient. When you're in the military, you don't have a lot of time, right? For example, there are days where I work 16 hours a day, so any single like 30 minutes to an hour is very, very important for me to get enough amount of sleep, right? So having a vehicle, that convenience to reduce the amount of time that you spend on unnecessary things is important. So that's criteria number 3. And criteria number 4, you know, when I was in A school, there was a buddy of mine, it was a rap song, I guess he got it from, he said, if it doesn't make $1, it doesn't make sense. Okay, and I really truly do believe that if it doesn't make $1, it doesn't make sense. If it's not benefiting you financially, it doesn't make sense for you to have it. There are so many people within the military, specifically sailors that I interact with, struggle. They want to get rid of their vehicle so badly because it's financially straining them. There are a lot of people that I know that are struggling with vehicle stuff, making insurance, making payments. They owe more on their vehicle than the vehicle is worth, right? There are a lot of people that just made a spontaneous decision they come out of the military, come out of boot camp and A school, and they have several thousands of dollars in their bank account, and they've never had that much amount of money in their whole life, and they start to splurge on certain stuff without really thinking it through, without really following the 4 criteria. Guys, my personal best recommendation for you is, if it meets these 4 criteria, then seriously consider purchasing a vehicle. Then talk to your family, talk to a financial planner that the military provides. There's always somebody financially related that are advising, a financial advisor in the military that they provide for you, right? I use that service too, okay? And I'm not looking to purchase a vehicle, but I use it to make sure that I'm on the right track. And I hope you use every financial opportunities within the military that they provide for free. All right. So when you are purchasing a vehicle, thinking about purchasing a vehicle, my best recommendation is follow these 4 criteria. Then seriously consider purchasing a vehicle. Then talk to your financial planner within the military. Also talk to your family, your friends, to see if it's a good idea or not. And I hope that helped. All right, thank you for watching. I'm probably going to run outside. It's about 90 degrees. And I hope you have a great Navy Day, guys.